there is a vicious sound of thunder, followed by the cracking, blinding sight of lightning. Felix Justin's eyes were fixed on the storm, even as the others huddled in a ruined circle, Sawyer and Hazel having worked together to keep the rain off them. Leo was awake as well. They decided to shift watch in pairs. Fate had a cruel sense of irony, pairing them up. Leo was doing his best to ignore him. He was doing the same. He would have turned his back completely away, but he wasn't stupidly trusting. The others didn't see. They couldn't have. After all, only Felix knew Leo had the gun prior to the shot. Only Felix saw him ready it, and only Felix saw the shot clip Jamie, throwing him onto one of their attackers. Felix had called him out on it as soon as they were in safety, but he had claimed it was an accident. Liar, his power whispered to him, but Leo was a dangerous man. Slicked back hair, black and oily, casting shadows on narrowed, cold eyes. To push him more without means to defend himself, while Leo still had the gun, was only asking for trouble. Besides, their powers were too similar, and Leo's gave him some enhanced physical ability on top of it. They'd more than likely cancel each other out before Felix could get a good enough grip on him. Coward, his power whispered to him. Smart, he thought back, but he turned to fully face Leo anyway. How long do you think we'll be stuck here? He said quietly, hoping it came across as childish wondering rather than the sharp accusation he felt. Leo shrugged noncommittally, then met his gaze as a shiver traveled up Felix's spine. Murderer, his power whispered. Antsy to get home? Aren't you? No. Bad Felix. Too antagonistic. His power disagreed. Push him. Fragile. Breakable. A flash of images danced in his mind, unwanted. Leo's, things brought up by his question. He tried to push them aside, but his power was insistent. Watch. The memories were foggy and distorted. They always were with him, crafted to only include the things that would make him better at his job. Blood, violence, and death invaded his senses. He shook them away. He couldn't afford to be that distracted right now, digging his fingers into the dirt to anchor himself. Are you okay, kid? Leo's eyebrows had drawn up as Felix curled in, power needing to be diverted, so it sunk into the ground. Side effect, he gritted out. Power. Leo nodded, but his gaze didn't shift, eyes still shining with concern. Felix didn't want his concern, it didn't need it, not from a man like him, but his power purred in his ears. Use it. Break him. He didn't listen. His power was dominant, desperate for control that it once had, so he shifted his attention, focused on Leo, sharp eyes fogged like his memory. Break him, his power whispered back once more. Fragile. Felix read into that, cracked, close to gone, but not gone yet. His power sensed weakness and wanted him to snap at it. Years ago, he might have listened, but he never would again. He didn't want to be a monster, vicious like his power wanted him to be. So he reached out, power swirling bright and red as he focused it, though no one else would see it, and he reached for some of the fog in Leo's head. He was met with a force from an outside. He was met with an outside force, but Felix was stronger now, and the connection Leo had to this outside invader was weakened through distance. So he pushed some of the fog aside, watching as both he and Leo collapsed, overcome by memories long since forgotten, and swallowed by malicious fog.
It's a magical, mystical time. It's anecdotal adventures.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of City of Mist, Kingmakers. I'm your Master of Ceremonies, Ashley, and these are my wonderful players.
I am Cassidy. I'm playing Matthias, the Rift of Typhon.
Tele, and I am playing Adelaide, who is the Rift of Nemesis.
I am Sonia. I'm playing Emma, the Rift of Athena.
I am Gino. I am playing Jane, the Rift of Hera.
I am Simon. I'm playing Aaron, whose rift is King David. I'm Selena. I play as Mara Galanis, the Rift of Hades.
And where we last left off, you had all left the town of Fair's Point with Shadow Hunter Knight Urain Lighton, and had met up with the familiar Cades of Laughter and Mania on your way to Ashbourne, capital of the Empire, agreeing to escort Cades back to the Cloudvale Academy. So why don't we jump right back into this? You are all sitting on a cart. You're traveling at night, as per Urin's request. What are you all doing right now to pass the time? Most of you are asleep at this point. Sans Matthias, who spent the night talking with Cades. As the sun is starting to rise, Urin begins to pull the cart over to make up camp for himself, as he will sleep during the day. You guys slept during the night, traveling back in the cart. So, as each of you wakes up, what are you doing?
Adelaide's gonna pull out her knitting needles of wisdom.
The grand knitting needles of wisdom.
And just knit. And as she knits, yarn appears. She's just knitting air, but there's yarn now. It's magic.
Ezekiel is definitely like,
Whoa.
Jane will be checking the map and the landmarks and make sure we're headed in the right direction.
I'll be
Yes.
studying the map as well.
You are headed east. The path that Urin wants to take will take you through a couple towns for rest stops. You don't know how long it really takes to get to the town, but you know that the next town you're going to head to is called Oakhart.
I'm gonna continue leading the horses on that way then.
What?
Oh, well,
no, it's
No, we have camp set up.
yeah.
Right? So we
Sleeping.
should
Good
pack
night.
up.
No, he has to sleep during the day.
Just-
'cause- Yeah. So
you guys are traveling at night, and
We travel at
Urin
night, and
is
it's
sleeping
just
during the day.
And he's sleeping now.
Give the man time to sleep. We just got to sleep, and you're like, let's keep going.
I was under the impression we were sleeping like on the cart as we.
You all slept.
We were.
Urin's the one
Nice.
driving the cart, though.
So okay, so we have set up camp, right?
Yeah, Urin has set up camp and has left you guys to do as you will while he sleeps to regain his energy for another night of travel.
I'm gonna lean over to Cades. Is this area like safe-ish?
Defined safe.
Like if I
The
let
chance of
him
death
run
is
around
low.
a little bit, he won't die?
I mean, just don't let him go to the edge of the forest and you'll probably be fine.
Okay. Are we in like a clearing? Like a field?
Yeah. Evra seems to be pretty flat for the most part, with only occasional clusters and groups of trees marking the landscape.
Then I will just try and play as hard as I can with Ezekiel, so hopefully he's tired by the time we start up again.
Ezekiel's so on board with that idea, and Ezekiel wants to rope the whole group into a resounding game of tag.
I play.
I will also play.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm too old. I'm too old to be running around.
I will play, but I'm only gonna let Ezekiel tag me. If anyone
Only
else is
Ezekiel.
if anyone else is it, I'm running as fast as I can so no one can touch me.
Aw. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and you guys spend a while playing tag. Of course, you're playing as a bunch of college students with one 4-year-old. So, you know.
What's jogging?
You guys are not trying that hard unless someone else is it and they're going after you. That's not Ezekiel.
Like, oh no, I've been tagged.
And otherwise, just like climbing trees, running around trees and stuff.
And what else do you guys want to spend the day doing? You are still, for the most part, a large majority of your journey will keep you by the border of the Grove of Mirrors. So you can see the forest not too far from the trail.
Ooh.
Can
I
I
like to
go-
stand at the edge and look in.
It's very dark.
Are
I
there
will-
any animals?
Actually, yes.
Oh no.
While you're creeping in the forest, you, and you're all sort of examining it, Mara, you can sort of use your vision to break through most of the shadows around, and you see a little tiny, almost looks like a squirrel, but it's completely black, sitting on one of the branches.
Oh.
I call Ezekiel.
Okay, I'm gonna cautiously walk up to it.
It runs away, like a squirrel would if approached. It looks exactly like a squirrel, but it gives off a little bit of a glow and is pitch black.
Oh my
I'd
god,
like to
That
climb
is
the
familiar.
closest tree.
I love it.
Okay, everyone spoke at once there. Mara expressed a feeling of, I love that squirrel thing. Everyone loves the squirrel things. And I think I heard Matty say he wanted to do something.
I want to climb the tree.
Are you trying to go after the squirrel?
No, just the closest tree.
Okay. Oh, the closest tree is probably one of the clusters of trees nearby and not the actual Muir Groves trees. We can do that.
Yeah, I want to climb as high as I can.
You climb
See
a
if I
high
can-
tree.
See if I can see the skyscraper tree.
You can.
Can you
Skyscraper
see
tree
this?
is fairly visible. You can all kind of look up and see the shadow of the tree in any
Okay.
case.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's huge. Like very, very, very big tree.
Or it's all very tiny.
Or that. Or you're actually in a Alice in Wonderland type
Wonderland,
miniature world, and that's the only normal-sized thing you've seen so far.
I would like to do Eyes in the Sky, which is a scout, which just forms like an owl that goes above and you can look through it and around the area, maybe scouting ahead on a path.
What would you like to
Because
roll
they're
me?
dangerous.
We should
Yeah.
write it a note and send it to the tree because we know there are people there.
Sure. Actually, that's a smart idea. Why don't we do that?
Use it as a messenger owl. Be like,
That'll
we're going
take a
to
while of
Ashford.
flying, though.
It will take a while, because the tree, for all its, like, grandeur, is not close to you. It is pretty much in the middle of the forest.
Oh, because we know one of them. Some of them are there. So yeah, we can.
Yeah. Or we could ask Cades to point out the closest person and roll out the map. Who is closest?
He tried
to
that
us?
last time and he just pointed randomly.
No, he didn't. He pointed just around. Cades, point out the
Exactly,
closest person.
randomly.
Proximity-wise.
Well, and he just covers the map with his hands. I'm sensing something. Some power nearby.
Adelaide uses manifest candy of multiple sensations and creates a lollipop and gives it to Cade. And this lollipop will sort of persuade. It has
So do you want to roll me a convince check to try to convince kids to be truthful?
yes.
Okay,
but-
so that is 2d6, and for convince, you are trying to talk, threaten, or seduce someone into doing something you want. Roll plus power. On a 7 to 9, they give in a little but protect their own agenda, and on a 10 plus, they change their agenda to include yours, at least for the time being.
That's a 9.
Are you going to add anything?
Let's see, what do I got?
Well, you can add the candy tag since you're doing it through the gift of candy.
Yeah.
So it's already a 10. That's already a success.
Okay.
You don't
I
have to.
was gonna use
You don't have to technically add anything else once you've reached a 10.
Okay. I was going to use tactful persuasion just to secure it.
Okay, 11. Just a secured 11.
Yes.
He grabs the lollipop from you, examines it, takes off the colorful wrapper that's on it. What flavor is this lollipop?
Any flavor he
Laughter.
desires.
Okay, so it's looks pink, but it's definitely cherry flavored.
Mhm.
And he sticks it in his mouth. It's like, this is real good. This is real good.
You're welcome.
Well, since I've been paid now, He takes out a finger, and he points.
Takes out a finger from
Just
his
like-
bag.
I mean, he can definitely do a visual pun and take out like a pointer figure if you want to in your head. But he makes a grand show of like sighing, raising his hand, like swirling it around the map in a spiral motion, just being painfully slow. And he points down from where you guys are to the town of Meyerfell, and he is slowly moving his finger away from it. I sense some coalition of power here. If you must know.
So that's where we should send your scout. We should send it
Or
a little bit
where-
ahead of there.
A little bit ahead there, yeah.
So I'll write a little.
No,
little
telling them
note.
where we're going.
Like, hey, we're gonna be at Ashbourne, and then I'm gonna sign it Maddie, and I'm gonna put everyone else's name down, hold it up, and hand it to.
The owl takes it, and I sit down on the cart because it's gonna take a while. And I just zone out flying the owl over there.
Okay. So, you guys spend the day passing an owl where you need to go.
With the owl, I also, like, because I'm zoned out, I, like, look around with the owl.
Okay.
Like, as it goes.
So why don't you
Okay.
roll me an investigate check here?
I got a 5 plus the scout, I assume. And then I could use telekinesis to add on to that. Which one is a soft success?
7 to 9 is a soft success. Anything above it is a hard success.
I'll use I can sense you to help with the owl, like sensing any danger, any people around.
Okay.
That's 8. 5, 8, yeah.
So, the complications on a 7 to 9, your investigation exposes you to danger. The clues you get are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false. Whoever or whatever you're asking the question can ask you one question as well, and you must answer on the same terms. That one doesn't apply since you're looking at scenery. So one of the first two. But how many power did you add?
3.
Okay, so you get 3 clues, and there's a chance that one of these clues will expose you to danger, or a chance that one of these clues is fuzzy, incomplete, or part true, part false.
Alright.
What questions do you ask?
Are there any creatures around that don't seem to fit in with the rest of the surroundings?
It looks like most creatures, as you put it, like you see farm animals that don't exactly match up with farm animals from your world. And some looks more like larger scale domesticated creatures roaming. Like even the horses, the mounts that are connected to your cart currently don't look quite like horses from your world.
Alright. So no, like...
Nothing that immediately grabs your attention that sticks out from its surroundings.
Right. Where are, like, do I see any of the other of our humans from our original group as we fly?
On your journey sending this owl to Meyerfell, I should say that to get to Meyerfell from where you currently are is like a day or two of flight.
Yeah, I don't have to control it the entire time, just when I want to see.
You don't see anything on the way there.
Alright. Think about this last one.
Any suggestions?
You could bank it for when your owl actually gets there.
I could. I think I'll do that.
Okay. Banking 1. Fuzzy, incomplete, or part 2 particles, and/or explosives due to danger clue.
A lot of indoors.
Yes, it is a lot of Andors. Anyway. You guys, what does Mara and Aaron do? Not spelled like that.
It's not spelled like that.
I'm not sure. Probably obsessing over the animals.
So you're playing Spot the Strange Creature.
Yes.
What's the difference between our creatures and ones here?
As she's playing that, Adel sneak away and use animal shapeshift.
No. Okay.
Yes.
I don't care about anything. I don't care about.
To turn into a chimera.
You're turning into a chimera?
Yes, technically it's an animal.
It is an animal. It's just not a cute one. So lumbering out of the shadows,
I would like to pick up the bus pole.
you see this huge creature. Describe to me what your chimera looks like.
Which chimera of which animals?
It's gonna be the basic mix of a lion with a horse.
Oh, that's totally the basic mix.
No, just the wings and line part. And you know what? Let's give it a human face.
Okay,
Is it your
so,
human
so
face?
I will.
Is it your face?
Or is it some other person?
No, it's just a vaguely human face.
So describing this horror show, you see lumbering out of the forest with the body of a lion, great eagle wings, the neck of a horse with the mane twirling down a vaguely flattened humanoid face.
I would like to yeet the slightly sharpened bus pole at it because that shit looks scary.
Okay. Then why don't we do go toe-to-toe here, I guess, or hit it with all you've got.
Hey!
It's a clear shot, so I get hit it with all you got, right?
Is there a kill it with fire option?
I mean, I believe that's what's happening right now.
No, I'm yeeting the stick at it, so it's a hit it with all you've got.
Yes.
Can I dodge?
We can roll a go toe-to-toe instead.
Yes.
Okay, we can go toe to toe. Well, I rolled a 10. And then I can add yeet.
I also
Makes
got
it
a
11.
10.
Hey, start adding things then.
Okay. I'm going to use
Oh god.
tactful persuasion, blissful presence, and let's see, the look.
You can't use tactful persuasion because you did that last one.
No, well I did.
No, it's not the
It's
same
not a
move,
convince check.
So
Okay.
she
Oh,
can use
so
it.
it's a
Yeah,
different
tactful
check.
persuasion, blissful presence, angel of justice. The look. That's it.
So how many was that? What is your total?
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So your total is 15?
Yep.
So I'm gonna add yeet, long stick, and track and field, so it gets me to 13, and then strength of a titan, 14. Unyielding determination, because I'm protecting Matthias, 15. Let's see. Do I have anything else to add?
It's gonna go so badly.
Well, it's a tie, it looks like.
I could also add. No, vaulting's not the same thing.
It's not. And
Yeah.
Matthias, I would like to invoke a weakness.
Okay.
Your shoulder really hurts right now.
Okay, so that brings me down to 14.
Overworked
Nice.
shoulder.
God.
You're welcome. May the grace of the MC be with you.
Thank you, God.
But it like.
It just misses you.
Adelaide quickly turns back.
You guys all see the chimera turn back into Adelaide, who looks a little, stunned.
Why would you do that?
I was trying to scare Mara.
You scared all of us.
Nah, I just thought you were pretty cool. Oh shit. You were annoying.
Yeah, shit, you were annoying.
Oh, honey.
Oh crap! A compliment. Wait, no, never mind.
Why did you
Oh my
think
god, what
that
the? Oh, yeah, Adeline?
Yes. It's not a power I like to use often, but
I thought you were just
for this
magical candy granny.
look, I gotta be intimidating when I need to be.
I almost hit you in the face with a sharp piece of metal.
Yeah, I don't realize that. You don't think I saw it?
You could have told us beforehand. You know, we're in a weird
It
world.
was a surprise. I
Like,
couldn't
hey,
scare
person.
Mara.
Who has already talked about how they're good at throwing things. I'm gonna try and scare Mara. Don't stab me, please. And then I would have been like, yeah, that's totally cool. I won't stab you.
It's didn't want to be a joke on the rest of y'all.
The prank, bro, just a prank. And you get whacked in the head. Oh wait, no.
Well, I am going to complicate things.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
As
I lost my metal stick.
your big stick flies into the woods and disappears in the foliage.
Ooh, that's
Wait,
not
I
good.
have a solution.
That shit. You
I
hit
recreate that stick, but it glows a bright neon
Great.
color. Would
You
that
created
suffice as a
another
substitute?
mess.
In Aaron's hands, an exact copy of your stick appears, and it just glows faintly.
No, it's not faintly.
That's not faintly, right? It
It's
glows like a
bright.
spotlight.
It's
It's
a
kinda
bright
hard to
white.
Now,
I hold it
now
next to
Maddie
my
has
face.
a torch.
It matches.
Alright.
But you guys, this is going to be some downtime for the day. So go ahead and pull up the downtime move and tell me what you'd like to use your downtime doing besides all this various hijinks that might get one of you killed.
Or when it gets somebody killed.
What's the downtime?
So montage, parentheses, downtime. You can give attention to one of your logos or extra themes. You tell everyone at the table how you do it. You can work the case, tell everyone at the table how you do it, and you gain 3 clues. You can explore your mythos. Tell everyone at the table which mystery you explore and how you do it, and you gain 1 clue with the method and source based on your description. Mark attention to that mystery's theme. Prepare for your next activity. Tell everyone at the table how you prepare or choose 1. Recover all your burnt power attacks, or gain 3 juice with a method based on your description. You can choose from the effect improvisations under Change the Game. Recover from your last activity. For each ongoing status still affecting you, the MC will tell you if and how it can be reduced during your downtime, and by how many tiers. Alternatively, the MC can allow you to reduce any or some of your statuses by 1 tier for each relevant tag you have. And that is a quick thing of what you can do during your downtime. What would everyone like to do?
I'd like to give attention. I
Okay.
would like to keep asking Aaron for for javelins, and I would like to practice throwing.
Alright, so you do a minor industrial line of glowing javelins.
And
Aaron,
then
can
I-
you desummon your objects?
I'm just imagining a giant pile of them just piling up in the woods.
They
Glowing
probably
so
will go
bright.
after a while, because they just kind of just stop
What's-
appearing.
What's the thing that people shout when they ask for someone to throw up a plate when shooting?
Pull.
Pull, yes.
Are you guys helping me by throwing stuff into the sky for me
Uh-huh.
to eat javelins at?
Okay, so go ahead and mark attention to, I'm assuming, your running
Track and field.
track and
Yeah.
field team. Okay, going down the list, Aaron. What is Aaron doing during downtime?
Well, it sounds like I'm making a minor industrial line of javelins.
What are you
Doesn't
doing
he
during
pay
your
attention?
downtime?
Wait, doesn't that mean he's doing attention for his creation one?
You can explore your mythos if you would like.
Like, I would be kind of cool to know how I make a small industrial line of javelins.
You just ponder where the matter comes from of what you're making.
And why is it a weird bright neon color?
Yeah.
Practice making it different colors.
You ponder that. It kind of hurts your head. You gain 1 clue based on that mystery. and you can mark attention to that mystery's theme. Okay, next up, what does Emma want to do during downtime?
I'm, working with the owl, because that takes up a lot of time.
Okay. So you're you're preparing things.
Yeah, the preparation one, what's it called?
Prepare for your next activity.
Yeah.
And since you don't have a burnt power tag, you can gain 3 juice. This can be spent on change the game interactions at a later date.
All right.
And or you could approve your current owl effect using some of this juice.
How much of it? And what exactly would that do?
You have 3, and if you will look for the move, change the game. Change the game. You can use your abilities to give yourself or your allies an advantage. Since you're not currently using it, you're not rolling. On a hit, you get juice equals to power. Spend your juice to gain the following effects, 1-to-1. You can create a story tag, you can burn a power tag or a story tag, you can give or reduce a status, 1 tier per point of juice. So for example, if you wanted to give someone medical aid, you would spend juice to do that. On a 10 plus, you can get a minimum of 2 juice, and you could also use your juice to do the following: scale up the effect, prolong the effect, hide the effect, and any other improvement made you agree upon.
So scale up the effect in this case would be no complications with the owl question, the last owl question.
Or you
Also
could have,
prolong the effect so you don't have to think so actively about it.
Ooh, so I could just passively control the owl and see in the background.
Yeah, for right now.
I think I'll do that. Do that.
So we'll prolong the effect. Okay, what is Adelaide doing?
Adelaide's gonna give attention to one of her logos, which is can I prevent history from repeating? The mother bear one.
Okay. So, how are you giving attention to Mother Bear?
She is going to ponder a bit. She's gonna set herself aside and ponder a bit, and sort of replay what she knows about the history so far about this place, and wants to make sure that this history doesn't repeat. Find a way.
So mark attention to that theme.
Okay.
Is this a mythos or logos theme?
This is a mythos.
Okay, so then you will gain 1 clue
Okay.
to spend on a with a method and source based on your description.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Going down the list. What is Jane doing?
Jane is going to mark an attention to her Mythos card, Call of Home.
And how are you doing this?
She's going to think about her interactions with the people in her day-to-day lives, with like what she wants to do with psychology versus what her mother wants her to do with fashion. And she's going to think about just if it's realistic for her to be able to achieve her dreams.
Okay, so you can gain a clue on the mystery for that theme, and you can mark attention for it. And Mara, what does Mara spend her downtime doing?
I'm going to be paying attention to the, I think it's Mythos card. Sticks with it. I'm gonna ask around to see if anyone can see. Are there any dead spirits around us?
Would you like to try to find some dead spirits?
Yes, and I'd like to ask members or someone in the crew if they can see them, and I'm not the only one, but like coolly, not freaked out.
We play that out. So Mara, while you are exploring your mythos, I'll give you the clue and the attention now, but I would like to see how the scene goes. So you do see spirits around the Mere Groves in armor. Soldiers, it looks like, from eons and eras long past. Some have died more gruesome deaths than others. Makes some of them a little bit hard to look at. But who are you approaching to investigate?
Adelaide?
Yes.
I kick a rock towards the spirit. I see. Do you see a knight in armor over there where I kicked the rock?
Well, I don't see no handsome fellow, if that's what you're talking about.
What do you see?
Well, I see you just kicked a rock. And that's about it. I mean, unless you're suggesting that there's like a ghost or something there that I can't see.
Of course not. Are you
All right.
crazy?
I mean, probably. I'm about 60-something years old, and my mind ain't what it used to be, so probably am going crazy. Just a tad bit.
She laughs at that.
Okay. And you get your clue, and you get your attention for that mystery. But I think everyone has said what they wanted to do over the course of their downtime. So, unless anyone wants to spend their clue right now, that they received since most of you explored mythoses, we will end the montage as the sun begins to set and Urin brings himself back into wakefulness. And starts packing up the cart, getting everything ready to go again. He turns to the rest of you. We'll ride for half the night and we'll reach Oakard during the night. Sister Sien is going to be waiting for us there. Holy Sister Levithia was kind enough to send a message ahead. Oh joy, we're going to stay at the court for the night. Cade says as he hops back onto the cart.
And that will be interesting.
How
I'll take a
far
seat on the cart as well.
How far is Oakart from the place where the other people are?
Oakart from Meyerfell?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ask Urin?
Yeah.
2 to 3 days ride from there.
Okay, that's fine.
And how far is it to our destination?
Well, it's a 2 to 3 days ride from Oakart to our next town. And another a day and a half to Ironhaven. A day to Longsdale, 2 to 3 days to Silverkeep, and we'll get to Ashbourne a day after that. So, probably about a week or so, week and a half.
And how far off schedule would a
Detour
take us?
You're speaking to your wish to go to Meyerfell, 2 to 3 days there, and 2 to 3 days back on track.
No, that's not worth it. They'll just meet us there, hopefully.
If they get the message, they should. And they should get the message.
You can confirm that they'll get the message, right?
Yes, I can. I'm currently partially paying attention, so if anything goes wrong, I should know.
Are more of the Kingmakers in Meyerfell?
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably.
Well, we could make a stop if you really wished.
It'd be great if we could gather them up. We don't know what sort of situation they're in, right? It'd be best if we all traveled as a large group. And then we know that one of them is already headed to Ashbourne, so if we end up arriving later than them, it should be alright.
We already told them that we're heading there, though, with the message. So if we suddenly turned and went towards them, that would change their plans.
We could attempt to intercept them on the way, though, Because they're
You can discuss what we're doing on the cart.
Yeah.
And he gets you guys to load up and head out.
But if they start heading their way to Ashbourne as well, and we kind of veer in that direction, we should meet up with them at some point and just head to Ashbourne together. At least that would be the goal.
Ezekiel climbs onto the cart and falls asleep as you've spent the day making him run around.
As soon as he falls asleep, I give myself like the fist thing. Like,
Yeah, good parenting.
Okay. And do most of you head back to sleep?
Adeline's gonna stay up a bit.
Okay.
I'll go to sleep but wake up when I think my owl should be getting there. Wait, how many days did you say it would take?
To get to Marfell?
My owl to get to Marfell.
About 2 days. It's been half a
Alright.
day.
So yeah, I just go to sleep.
I imagine you're gonna stay up at least a little bit.
Okay, and since Matty cannot sleep, or chooses not to sleep, I should say, the rest of you, do you go to sleep right away? Or are you staying up a bit, making conversation on the cart?
When Adelaide stays up.
I go to sleep right away.
I'm gonna look over at Adelaide because I've noticed her like sewing and making other stuff. So I guess I kind of want to just ask her a little bit about her life.
Okay, go ahead and talk to each other then.
Have you ever had to make, well, really hard decisions?
Yes. Unfortunately, I have.
How do you know which decision is the right one to make?
Well, that's a hard thing to do. Or even to advise, really. I guess there ain't a real right way to go about making a decision or making the right decision in the first place. You just gotta go with what you think will be best, and gotta think about all the effects that happens afterwards. It's my advice anyways.
Thank you. How did you learn how to sew?
Can I do a flashback?
Absolutely. Adelaide is going to make use of the flashback feature, and you're going to describe events from your character's backstory that are becoming relevant now. Based on your description, I will award you a juice or a clue.
Okay. Let me pull up my sheet. So, flashback time. Woo! Ripple, 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 ripple.
You all know the sound effect that just played in everyone's head right now, right? You get it.
So, flashback time, and as the ripple comes across, the image of a small Italian house appears. And in that house sits a very, very young Adelaide. You think that she may look a bit, maybe she's an early teenager, like maybe 14, maybe 13. It's hard to tell. But in that room, it's cluttered, it's dirty, and there's only one window and there's bars over it. And Adelaide's sitting there on an old cot with no bed sheets, with a sewing needle in hand and some rags and fabric, just sitting there and sewing. And that's the flashback.
And we come back, and I will reward you a juice for that.
Woo, juice!
Such a fun currency name. Here's a juice. And now that the moon has been sufficiently brought down, what is everyone else doing?
Adelaide, did you like say all of this out loud?
No. Flashbacks are
Okay.
flashbacks.
Okay, I was like, did she describe that? Because if yeah.
Nope.
While they are having their private conversation, Maddie is like really awkwardly sitting there for a minute, and then he's like, I think I saw it, and he's just gonna get out of the cart and like jog by it as it travels. So he doesn't feel like he's intruding on their conversation.
Okay. You be polite, I suppose, and a little extra in your politeness.
Yeah, that's super considerate.
What do the rest of you do? Emma went right to sleep. Did Mara and Aaron follow suit?
I guess they just sit there kind of awkwardly, just like, okay.
Mara's probably looking at the stars and taking note of the night birds, if there are any.
There are some birds that fly around in the night. Their wings are noticeably like sharper and more pointed than regular birds are, and they're very far up in the sky, and they're very small dots in the distance.
Nightingales.
But looking at the stars, the constellations are different. There's none that you recognize. This is not your night sky.
Do I have any sort of paper or like pen, like a journal?
What would you carry on you on the bus?
I probably had my cat in my backpack, and
So you have Shadow with you, snuck on the bus this whole time.
yes, no one notices. I have.
Shadow is a well-trained stealth cat. Thank
That
you
is
very much.
A very
I
good
know,
cat.
right? That's adorable.
I have a journal, and I have 2 journals and a pen and some Polaroid pictures, and I guess a Polaroid camera.
So you have a pen and paper then?
Okay, I'm gonna.
Shadow makes a quiet, very, very odd, inaudible to anyone but you, who is currently reaching in the bag. I'm here. Sound.
I'm gonna pet her and giggle silently, and I'm gonna take out my journal and draw some of the constellations to keep mind of, and list down every animal I've seen, like describe them.
Does Shadow need to eat?
Yes, but she's not hungry right now. She'll get
Shadow
food.
snuck out during the day and caught her own food.
Yeah, she's a legend.
Trained cat.
I'm gonna-
She's more of a wild cat than a house cat sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bug Mara. What are you doing there?
Nothing.
Well, I mean, you're doing something.
And it's your business why?
I mean, it's not. But I was just like trying to make pleasant conversation because you seem to be really passionate about whatever you're doing, and that's the most emotion I've seen from you this whole time. Sorry, that got really mean at the end. I take back everything after the just trying to make pleasant conversation part.
Just leave me alone.
He looks like an actual
Oof.
kicked puppy as he like
Oh!
retreats. He's like, okay.
Before Maddie falls asleep, I am going to.
Matty does not sleep.
Oh, doesn't? Okay. Well, when they're not looking, I'm going to leave a small picture of the cutest animal I've seen by them, and write a little note and say, Shh, I like animals.
You do that.
He's super grumpy, and then he finds it, and he gets it, and he searches for whatever he can draw on, which is just like probably like one of those, those magnetic drawing boards that you have when you're a kid with the like magnet pen,
Yes.
and then you do the swipey swipe. Because he probably had one of those in Ezekiel's bag because they were going to work, so it's one of his toys. And Maddie is going to crudely draw and describe every animal he sees at night that's different. Because he's like, oh, she likes animals. And he's going to...
Do I see him, like, looking around for papers and stuff? Or, like, something to use to draw on?
I mean, you see him rustling around in Ezekiel's bag.
But do I see him start to draw?
Paper.
Yes, you do see eventually the magnet board be taken out.
It's like Frozen themed.
I probably have like one of the random books I brought with me to look at. That since I went to buy a new book, I read my old books because he's weird like that. You find like the page that has a blank side and rip it out and actually give you an actual piece of paper.
There's always things like that in the back.
A little bit because he's hurting his books that he values more than most people he knows.
Oh, this is so adorable.
Maddie is shook. Like,
well, you have to pull the paper out because he is like instant regret, and he's like, "Oh no!" You kind of like tug the paper out.
It's that one page in the back of the book that's always blank.
Jane would have been holding out like a sketchbook because she actually has one of those on her.
Maddie is overwhelmed by the kind gestures and just takes everything handed to him.
I go back to like pet the book because I feel bad for my decisions.
Oh.
But like not at the same time. He's like, oh no.
Okay.
Also a mix of like you had a notebook the entire.
You beat me to it. She apologizes to the book.
The book is appeased.
Yeah. And that's what I spend my night doing. Looking for animals.
And being offered gifts of paper.
Yeah, which was he extremely startled by because he was like, cool, frozen magnet board, but now he's using that as like a flat surface to write on.
Cades has stolen one of the pieces of paper from you and is using magic to draw on it. Just doodles. Nothing important.
Every once in a while, Maddie will see something that's particularly cool and like do a crude sketch of it and then be like, what is this one? Or that. But this. But like, what is it called?
Describe to me what animal do you want to like?
The pointy winged birds.
Nighthawks?
That's so much cooler than I thought.
Yeah, they look tiny from up here, but they're as big as horses.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
They're nocturnal though, and they don't tend to attack things as big as humans, so they're probably fine.
Unless they're small children, they might straight up just
I mean, unless you have a tiny child with you.
They can try.
I'm just imagining one swooping down and Maddie just wrestling it to the ground.
No!
You would totally do that.
No, he would learn to fly and fly after them.
Punch it in the head.
And then yeet it back into the sky.
Yep. With his, what's
His yeet ability?
the ball throwing one? What's the ball throwing one? I forget it right now.
It's just called yeet.
Yeet.
In actual shot track and field, it's
Shot
called
put. That's it.
Shot put.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yes.
I couldn't think of the name.
He would shot put the horse-sized bird back into the sky.
Yeah.
That Hercules scene.
Oh my
Yes.
god, the Zero to Hero montage where
Yes.
he's throwing
Yes.
monsters.
Oh my
left
gosh.
Yeah, like that. That's
and right.
That's
Absolutely.
beautiful.
About halfway through the night, after everyone else but Maddie, Cades, and Urin have fallen asleep, you can see the town of Oakhart rising in the distance. There is it looks like the court building on this one is immediately to the left of town. It looks almost exactly like the same stone material, pretty large building that you've saw in Farrah's Point architecturally stands out from the rest.
Before everyone else wakes up, I would like to write in the cover of the blank sketchbook I got, and I would like to just write a little note like, if you're embarrassed about it, just slip it back to me after you copy down the notes so I can keep taking notes at night for you, and close it, and then I want to put it in Mara's bag.
Okay, you do so. Actually, as you are opening Mara's bag,
Oh no! No! Why would you go in my?
And you put the thing back. A furred paw lands on your hand and scratches you. It draws blood. It's not enough to take status, but
it draws lava, and I immediately pull my hand back because I don't want to hurt the cat.
Oh no!
Yeah,
and then I put a piece of jerky in the bag and just close the top of it.
Yes.
And the cat goes back to its throne.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Casual lava bleeding?
Yeah. After a while, it solidifies, it doesn't scar, and then it kind of just chips off, and it's okay.
It's stone.
What are you doing with the lava?
Is absolutely fascinated. The rest of you are asleep. But Uran makes an attempt after a little while to wake everyone up. As outside of the court, as the cart pulls up, there is a dark-skinned, short-haired woman in similar but not quite the same robes as Holy Sister Levithia. She's standing outside with a lantern of like magic light, waiting for you guys. And Uran gets off the cart first. Sister Sien, I take it? Yes, and you must be Shadow Hunter Knight Uran. Am I correct? And he nods. And then these must be the Kingmakers. And she bows deeply.
Don't do that. That's
Don't
weird.
bow to
Pleasure
us,
to meet you all.
please.
Like, I hold out my hand for her to shake.
She'll shake it. A little oddly.
Yeah.
Dane will follow suit.
I'm Maddie.
When she shakes her hand, it's definitely the way that, like, nobles shake hands, and that she doesn't shake it firmly like that, but she takes it the other way and, like, daintily
Shakes the fingers.
Yeah.
Maddie,
Finger shake.
Maddie's like...
I grab her hand like an actual handshake and shake it normally. Like not even letting her shake it the other way.
Is this some sort of strange greeting from where you all hail?
Here, I'll show you something really cool. Is then gonna start to teach her a secret handshake.
Oh no.
Oh god.
This is quite fascinating. What is the purpose of these strange hand gestures?
It's
a greeting.
really just it's a greeting.
See, those ones are for established friendships. And then the handshake is for, I've just met you.
And then she'll look at Jane and go, I am very honored to be graced with your friendship, and she'll bow again.
Oh no, don't bow!
Does that make anyone else feel uncomfy? It makes me feel
Holy
So
Sister
I bow
Levithia
in
informed
return.
me of your coming, and wished for me to provide, and the courts ahead in villages to provide you all proper housing during your trip.
That is awesome. Would she
What's
have
the
been
city
able
word?
to get out a call to look for other Kingmakers, or is that something that you can do?
I do not possess magic. Unfortunately, I cannot send or receive scry messages.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Ashley, what's the name of the city that we're in?
Oakhart.
Thank you.
You must all be tired from your journey. Please, follow me. I'll have breads prepared.
We just woke up.
You guys, it's like halfway through the night though, right? It's like
Yeah, you only
1 in
slept
the
a couple
morning.
hours, so.
Oh, okay.
Do
Then yes.
you have any coffee?
go to sleep. I can stay up for just go to sleep, woman.
I want coffee.
Why?
I'm sure we can
Sure,
provide
we
some
can.
for you.
Thank you.
She'll bow and she'll lead you all to your rooms, and then she'll walk off and come back with some coffee for Mara in a little tea set.
Yes. Yes. I literally chug it.
She's going to get no sleep tonight. I check in on my owl and then go back to sleep. If everything is good there.
We'll get to that. What is everyone else doing?
Oh god.
Well, since I had coffee, I'm gonna look more at the stars and document them as well as the animals, and I'm gonna notice the diary, and I'm gonna smile at it, and then I'm gonna reassure myself that I don't care about this person.
Oof.
For those
Yeah.
who for listeners, I am sitting here silently flipping my hair because
No, you're not silently flipping your hair. You're silently flipping your non-existent hair.
oh yeah, I don't have hair.
Just aggressively.
There's a
with the
difference.
handle.
Really flipping your hair and flipping hair you don't have.
Yeah, I'm sarcastically flipping where my hair would be if I had hair.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I also have like a hoard of chocolate in my bag.
I'm glad everyone has candy.
But is it dark chocolate?
Yes, it's dark chocolate.
Bitter like your soul.
Imagine eating milk chocolate. That is
Imagine.
Imagine eating dirt. That's what dark chocolate is. It's
That's
dirt.
not what dark chocolate is.
We cannot start a debate over chocolate and dark chocolate right now. I'm afraid I'm gonna cut that off.
Oh.
That's a very important discussion to have, right?
It is, but not right now.
Which one is better? But like, this is dire information that us as Kingmakers need to
life
know
or
this.
death.
My opinion is that dark chocolate is better with fruit, and milk chocolate
Ooh.
is better alone.
No.
dark
but
chocolate
I
is
agree.
better with
I
cheese
agree.
and crackers.
Yes.
in game, we need to know this. We need to walk up. Do you like milk or dark chocolate? Does it matter? Yes, it does. Pick one.
They probably, if they had chocolate, wouldn't have figured out how to quite synthesize chocolates along the lines of milk and white yet.
Well, then nobody's getting picked. Everyone here is not gonna get.
But of course, they'd have to have chocolate.
We need the finest chocolatier in the land. They will be the king.
Adeline.
Be one person.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
only one person
Mara,
gets
you spend the
entire
rest of the evening doing that. Does everyone else head back to sleep pretty quickly?
Is there any
Oh.
other
Yeah.
reading
Aaron
material?
probably wouldn't go back to sleep.
I mean, there's more, like, court books here, because they have, like, their religious text.
Is it about the same as the?
I mean, it is a copy of the Song of Shadows again, so that would be what they'd have.
He's
like-
gonna check in with the holy sister before she leaves.
Sister Cien, also goes to sleep.
Before all that, before everyone else crashes in.
What'd you say?
Is the town pretty okay if I wanted to just wander around a little bit tonight?
I would be careful. We have a bit of a black squirrel infestation at the moment. And you do glow.
Are those the actual squirrels that are black that glow?
Yes,
a little bit
they
also?
eat light, so I would
Sorry, I do what now?
Nani.
Mhm. They eat light. Awesome.
How does one eat light?
As soon as she leaves, I go find Mara. Hey, Mara.
What?
Let's go catch a squirrel.
How?
Apparently they eat light, and I'm just gonna gesture to myself and go,
Oh, I like where this is going.
Only one, and if we get overwhelmed, we run. I'm leaving you behind.
Like to tag along with the squirrel.
Like you can run faster than me.
I can absolutely
Not only
run
that, but
faster
they'll
than
all
you.
just chase him anyway.
Yeah.
That is a very good point, Emma. Thank you.
This is a bad idea.
This is a great idea, Adelaide.
the rest of you are asleep and you can't stop it. So
Aaron would like
I'm
to
not
tag
asleep.
along and
Wait.
is Aaron coming with as well? Another sleepless
Yes,
night for Aaron?
Wait, how do you intend to capture the squirrel?
Also, I can't.
But if
I just can't. Okay.
You can't capture a squirrel?
No,
Wuss.
I am not a wuss.
Then come catch a squirrel with us.
No, because it's gonna make a mess. Now stop being annoying.
What?
Why would a squirrel make a mess?
Wow.
Go away!
You go away. We're gonna go catch a squirrel.
Yeah. Let's go.
And
No.
if you're,
I can't. Okay, I have a cat in my bag. There. I can't.
then take the cat with us.
You
Capture
can bring the
with
cat.
rodents.
Wait, you have a cat.
But what if the cat eats the squirrel? You don't know.
I'm on with your cabin in
Then
the
the
bag.
cat won't be hungry anymore.
Wait, hold on
And
a
what if
second.
the squirrel hurts the cat?
Then the cat got a boo-boo. It's a squirrel. The
Wait,
squirrel's
hold
gonna
on.
be
When did you
interested in
Excuse me? I'm not letting my precious shadow get hurt.
Then leave
When
it
did you put
here
a
with
cat in the
Ezekiel.
bag?
He's very good with animals. That's the lie. He's
Adelaide
mediocre with
wakes up
animals.
and shouts, "Shut up!"
Adelaide, will you watch Mara's stuff?
Yes, as long as you go and shut up.
There.
Okay, thank you. And then we
When
run.
did you put a cat in your bag? Wait, I want to know more about why you had a cat in the bag.
Jane is gonna
No!
thinks this is a bad idea.
I don't care. It's an animal.
So Emma and Adelaide are staying behind, and everyone else is going squirrel hunting.
Yep.
Okay, so while Emma and Adelaide head to get a good night's sleep, and a team of people who need sleep, like Sans Matty, go to catch a squirrel.
Well, I'm checking in on my owl before I go to sleep, if I go to sleep at all after that.
I need
Yes,
to
well, they do that. We need to cycle back. Thank you for reminding me. Well, you guys are going squirrel hunting. We should check in with Emma, who's flying with her owl. Your owl is like a psychic construct. It's not a real owl, right?
Can you summon? You have a summoning power too. You have the ability to summon.
Yeah,
So it's like a semi-real owl.
it's semi-real.
It is as real as a familiar would be in D&D, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's good for me to know. So you're...
It's gotta physically carry a letter, so it's gotta be physical.
It is a real owl. I want to know how scale to not real to real it was.
Familiar level.
Semi-real.
Mhm.
Real enough. Then you check in on your owl, and it's flying along. But one of your clues exposed her out of danger, so you know.
Oh no,
There's-
the night owl, the night hawk.
There's that. Oh yeah, you got it. Got it in one. Because as the owl is flying along, you hear this horrid screeching.
I dive below the tree cover. Below. Because
You make it.
that big can't go in between trees.
Your owl makes a swift dive, but there's something huge after your shadow casts over your owl. It can definitely fly faster than your owl can.
But can it weave in between trees?
It can't.
Pretty
So
big.
you find shelter in some trees as it. Well, it can't
Keep
weave in.
flying, but through the forest, and keep weaving back. and
There's
forth.
not a huge. So do you? To Meyerfell, you're away from the forest at this point.
Oh.
There are small clumps of trees, but you're having to play. Hope I can get to the next clump of tree before the Nighthawk can,
Yeah.
and eventually you're gonna lose that bet.
All right, then I just
You're smaller, you should be more maneuverable.
Hide in the tree.
Juke 'em.
stick to the trees. Maybe find like a hole somewhere that I hide in.
Okay, so your owl has to take a short break from flying
Yeah.
to hide in some trees from the Nighthawk.
hmm
We'll eventually lose interest.
And
Your owl.
I try to figure out where they would be based on that short amount of time lost, so I can recalibrate where I'm going.
Well,
I also have
all
a
that
map
you
in
know
front of
is
me
what
in real
Cades
life.
has told you, and Cades has told you they're in Meyerfell.
Well, he like pointing where they were going, so I can general direction. to where
Yeah, they're heading
going.
slowly away from Meyerfell.
Yeah, and also I have a map in front of me in real life, so I can know exactly where I am based on the geography.
Okay, so you're
and
getting
stuff.
no sleep either. That's what I'm hearing. You're also having a night of no sleep.
We all have to fix our sleep
Yeah.
schedule, okay?
Adelaide on top of a sleep train. 5 stars to Adelaide.
I think Aaron's pretty used to not getting much sleep, so I don't know how much this would
We did get half a day of sleep. Half a night of sleep.
You did. Adelaide's gonna get a full night's sleep. Go, Adelaide.
Maddie doesn't need it, so the rest of you are suckers.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's go to team squirrel hunting.
Yay!
Yeah, boy.
So, are you guys just basically walking around town? Is Maddie like a couple feet in front of you guys? What's going on here?
I made a glowing flashlight, so it's already light plus the light of the flashlight itself glowing.
So you have an object that has light on it, and Maddie.
I'm trying to attract them.
Who else is carrying anything that has light on it?
I will take the flashlight and I will just be a beacon.
Oh, so
Okay.
now I don't have anything light. I just have myself.
I mean, you could always create another one.
No, it's probably a better idea to have all the light in one person, so if he gets swarmed at least.
Okay then. Is Matty like
Yeah,
walking a
fine.
couple feet in front of you guys? So if he gets ambushed by a bunch of squirrels, you're not caught in it. See the real bait here.
Absolutely.
Jane in the back is figuring out how to cover Maddie if need be at last minute.
What's your plan to do there?
I grabbed like a spool of like fabric, and I'm just carrying that under my arm.
I don't think you'd have one big enough with you. You
Yeah,
were just
it-
going to visit your mom, weren't you?
Yeah, because I was visiting her, I feel like she would have probably like had, because he wouldn't be going back to her house. Her mother would probably have wanted to see like some of her fashion designs and other stuff. So she has like
You
quite a
could just
bit.
ask me to have created some for you.
Hmm?
You could have just asked me to have created some for you. I have that ability.
I might have done that too, because I was like, this could go south. So Emma, could you just?
I do that.
Okay.
Make sure it's like black fabric blocks out all light.
Okay. You do that. Did you not like the ominous pause there? You're all giving me looks.
Maddie's also gonna ask Aaron for another pole. So I have a light up pole and like a flashlight that glows that's kind of useless.
Okay, maybe attracting more light to your already very much light self probably isn't the best idea.
I'm gonna point the flashlight straight at my face and turn to him. What are you talking about?
And as you do that, it's there's a horrid, high-pitched, like, actual scream meets your ears as this squirrel that's as big as a small cat leaps and lands on your face. And when it touches you, the light that glows on Maddie's face, the hair that is heated and on fire, goes out.
That's crazy! I'm gonna grab it.
That light on your hands goes out.
That's okay. I hold it out.
We could use it for stealth.
And then I'm gonna take.
You-
Oh my god! I'm gonna take the flashlight and I'm gonna like put the flashlight like against.
And
its-
as it's making this like eating sound, like it's eating stuff, and the more it does that, the less light you have on you.
Does the squirrel get bigger?
Like you're getting more and more duller as it goes on.
It's freaking me out now. I don't want my veins to solidify. Can someone else like take it?
Hold on to it. I don't
I'll
really
reach out to
know.
you and I grab it, and
Never
I
mind.
only wear dark clothes and I don't have any.
As
light.
soon as it's taken out of its food source's hand, it makes that other, again, all that horrid screeching sound. And it's going to, I need everyone to roll me a face danger.
It's a squirrel.
Yes.
So that's 2d6.
Yep. A
Nine.
2d6.
Do we add anything to this?
Yes, so when you face danger, you use your abilities to avoid an oncoming hit, endure harm, resist a malign influence, or hold it together. The MC or player will name the status with its tag and tier. In this case, it is Blinding Burst 1, as the squirrel, feeling threatened, releases the light it consumes in a blinding burst.
If I have a power tag that like would assist other people, can I use that and would they also benefit from that?
You could try to change the game to create a story tag for them or give or
Okay.
reduce the status.
So it doesn't work. Like if it's a bastion, it wouldn't work that way. Okay.
You can try.
Do my ghost servants have the ability to pick up things in the world and like
No, they are ghosts, not poltergeists.
all right.
I rolled double sixes, so
You're good.
yeah. I take the squirrel back and just hand it the glowy stick.
I got a 9. Do I not get freaked the heck out?
On a 7 to 9, you take it -1, so since it's only a tier 1 status, it's immediately a 0. So,
I could use the fact.
What did Mara get?
A 10.
Okay, you're all fine then. You all managed to like turn around or close your eyes. It's pretty obvious that it was about to do something because its eyes got big, its fur puffed up, and it started to make that screeching sound again. It looks mollified now that it's back in your hands, eating at your light source and eating the light glow stick.
Would a 10 have also gotten? Because I could use like the fact that I've probably been too much more threatening bright lights before instead of a squirrel. It's
Yeah,
like,
but you don't need to.
Maddie, is that hurting you?
I don't know, but it's freaking me out a little bit. They said there was an infestation problem, so I have an idea. Aaron, can you make me a heavy ball? Can you make me a heavy ball about this big?
I guess I just do that and it glows bright like white neon.
And then I put it down, and I drop the squirrel, and I put the ball down on the ground for a second. Until, are there other squirrels that start to gather around it?
Not right now.
Wait a second, I make a very big cage out of light with a big old door in the front of it. We can catch them all.
Oh, that's smart. And I put the squirrel cat in the light cage. And I close it. So we have one squirrel cat thing.
One squirrel cat thing.
And you guys spend the evening, I guess, catching and luring black squirrels into cages, and you get a lot of
Its new name is Squirrel Cat. That's the new. That's its new
probably
name.
about 50 to 60 of them.
Okay, well, after I'm done closely examining it, I go back because I don't care. I only wanted to catch one, and I missed my
Do you take one back with you?
Sure, but do I have a cage for it?
I mean, they're all in light cages.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
And then after she takes her one, I'm like, okay, good enough. And then I ask Aaron to like de-summon all of the light cages and just give me a light, like a really bright shot put ball.
I can't just like snap the fingers and go. It just kind of like expire on their own. It's like a little countdown. They like.
Okay, then I start opening cages, and I'm like,
you solved the infestation, and then you immediately decided to ruin it.
I have an idea. It might be
Before he goes to unlock all the cages, can I just be like, why don't we just put them all in one area because we can transport them now without any harm coming to us?
Yeah, but won't the all right, fine. We'll do that. That's an idea. We should start. Maddie just picks up as many cages as he can carry. Like,
it's a process because you managed to catch a lot, and you've been walking through the entirety of the town.
I could make one with wheels on it, so that one big one we can put them all in that one. Just push them somewhere else.
Like a trolley.
Yeah, a cart.
Absolutely, make a cart thing.
Squirrels for sale.
I don't think I've used this light thing this many times in like this amount of time. I don't know if it's gonna backfire. Am I just gonna like?
I wonder if it will.
Oh God.
And then I'm gonna go knock on I'm gonna like jog back and knock on the Holy Sister's door.
Sister Sian?
Yes.
Wakes up groggily. Yes?
We caught a bunch of squirrel things. What do you want us to do with them? Like, we caught like 70 of them.
Why would you do that? Okay. Well, thank you. I suppose they're native to the forest, so you can guide them back there.
Okay. And then I run out and let's wheel them to the edge of the forest. This is where my idea comes into play.
You dropped it.
Your idea.
Wheel them into the forest, and then I will shot put a light ball as far in as I can.
Good idea. Let's do it.
So alright, so I need a light shot put about this big, and it needs to weigh about 3 pounds.
Sure, I make another light thing, but I have the concern this is gonna explode in my face because I've been using this so many times.
And then I'm like, okay, start opening cages now. And then just start throwing open cages.
They immediately start climbing on you.
Yep, and then I spin around and light shot put the ball as far into the forest as I can.
And this torrent of horrendous screeches lets out as they dive in this huge black wave of squirrel after this source of light. That's what you guys spend your night doing.
Problem solved. Kind of. I'm gonna shot. Aaron, give me another one to shot put for.
Oh
good
my
measure.
god! Please stop. I've never used this thing this many times. I know there's like a limit or something, but I feel like we're reaching that point.
Okay, then one more shot put globe, and then go to sleep.
Alright, fine. Another glowing sphere.
And then I put that one even further into the forest, and then I'm like, okay, let's go back.
You guys do that.
Are the cages still there? I'm gonna yeet the remaining cages into the forest as well, so they don't draw any squirrels back out of the forest.
You're not that strong.
I watch her
So-
feeble attempt at yeeting the cages, and then
They
I
go
just
like
nod.
a couple feet.
I just nod.
I
and
assume
pick
they're
up
not
the
glowing
cages.
anymore after the squirrels have been eating the light from them for a while.
Some of them aren't glowing.
I put the glowing ones in the forest. I don't yeet them because throwing a cage would be a bad idea.
Wait, what are
I
the
just
non-glowing
carry
ones
them
look
in.
like now? Since I've never
and
seen
put
one
them
of
down.
Like a normal cage made of steel. Gray.
Wow. Okay.
You realize you could sell the steel, right, and get money? But I'm not there. I can't do anything.
Well, don't they like de-poof
It
after a while?
disappears, so it'd kind of be like a crime.
It would be a
just-
scam.
I just kind of thought they were made out of big blobs of light. I didn't know they were made out of, not big blobs of light. But they kind of
Learn
poke in the
something
non-glowing cage.
Every day.
Huh.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go back so you guys can sleep.
I'm glad that we were able to.
Dad spent the rest of the night. The sun is rising by the time you get back.
Aww.
It
Suckers.
was worth it.
This is not the first time I've gotten no sleep. I hope you know that. I'm probably going to be fine.
Just saying.
We're college students after all. What do you expect?
No, like even outside of that, I was straight up in like a military for a second. I've been up late before
Well,
in
but
much more dangerous conditions than squirrels.
doesn't the Shadow Knight only travel at night? So you guys could sleep the day away.
Yeah.
Let's go do that. Or you guys go do that. I will go play with my
I
son.
do that once I know that my owl is safe.
She'll turn to Matthias before she goes to sleep, and she'll go like, "So Emma made this like large amount of fabric for me. I don't know if you're ever gonna use it, but if you'd like it, you can have it."
He just like puts it like he ties it like a toga and then like poses.
She'll applaud.
Girls.
Work it.
Yeah, and he leaves it on for the rest of the day.
Okay, eventually, Sister Sian comes to get you all for breakfast.
Awesome.
I guess anybody who's not passed out asleep goes to get the breakfast.
Well, I get breakfast and then I pass out of sleep.
You can do both at the same time.
Pass out in the bowl of oatmeal.
Sleep for like a minute, then take a fight, then go back to sleep for about a minute. Yeah.
So I am imagining like just snoozing over. In,
Well,
like,
what
a
does, I believe, Adelaide and Matthias are the only two that don't need more sleep.
and Ezekiel.
And Ezekiel.
Aaron,
What do you
with
guys
my
do?
knowledge, he could probably sleep, so he's gonna stay up for as long as possible.
Smiling smugly.
Aaron noticeably not sleeping.
Yes, I'm noticeably not sleeping.
I'm going to use my mythos to compel you to sleep. Can I roll a convince check?
He's been up more. He's a college student.
You can, but much like the way I did charisma checks in D&D, you're going to have to convince the player.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you mind control your party for something as silly as this. Maybe for future things, but at this point,
Aaron,
say limiting power usage on each other might be a good thing to start with.
so noticing Aaron isn't asleep, Jane is gonna walk over to him and she's gonna be like, "So, Aaron, look, I think it's really important we all need to get some sleep. After all, this whole process of king-making things is us trying to decide a ruler, and that might be the ticket to get us home. If we aren't able to
right this given second. I've been up before. I'm not gonna pass out in anything substantial.
Aaron or Maddie hearing this. Aaron, are you like sitting on your bed or standing up or?
I'm standing up, like walking to the breakfast, and everyone's like asleep.
Maddie is going to go and potato sack Aaron over his shoulder. And turn to Jane and be like, hey, can you get him some food? And is going to carry him up to bed.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. She's
What?
gonna get food.
So not Fredo style this time.
I have
No.
incredible large amount of questions. I don't need to sleep. I'm fine. I hope you know this.
I am pretty sure I am the only person that doesn't need to sleep. And then
I can stay up for almost 24 hours. I've done it at least a few times. I've only hated myself slightly while doing it.
And then Maddie will flop Aaron on a bed and be like, if you don't go to sleep, I will tuck you in like I do my 6-year-old child.
Oh dear lord.
I'm 4.
I was exaggerating for effect, dude.
I don't know what two of those words mean.
I was making it seem more significant, because if you're older, it makes it seem more ridiculous that he won't go to bed like you do, right?
You should go to bed.
Set a good example for my child.
The amount of sigh. I don't know, dear lord. Fine. I'll sleep, I guess.
Woo.
And by sleep, I mean you just sit there and read a book and wait until you assume you're far enough away and try to get back up and read.
Maddie is gonna go station himself outside of the door of the bedrooms.
Be another very large sigh. Dear lord, you people are crazy.
Go to bed.
Jane comes back up. She's gonna give Matt a high five.
You don't even need to sleep. I said that he just passes out because he's really tired. He assumed you're not there to realize that he actually could use some sleep.
Yep.
He stayed up all night catching squirrels.
Yeah.
Well, Sister Cien, as you guys go back to sleep, at least most of you do, is talking to Rune about your travel plans and things. What do you, Adelaide and Maddie spend the day doing?
Do you want to explore the town with me and Ezekiel and go see if there's children's stuff to do?
Explore!
Gladly.
Alright, let's go, I guess.
So you get ready to go explore the town. Do you tell Urin or the sister that you're going out?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Warn him about the demon squirrels.
I told her about the demon squirrels last night.
No, your son.
Oh, yeah. I do. I talked to Ezekiel about how we captured a bunch of light-eating squirrels last night.
Can I see one?
No.
I'm pretty sure we put them all in the woods where they live.
Wait, don't I have one in a cage though?
Yes, you do.
That
Oh.
expression.
Just what were y'all thinking?
Has
It was
the
the dead
glow
on the
come
map.
back? Has like my glowing hands and face come back after a while?
Yes.
Okay. It's fine.
You could use the squirrel for sound.
You notice, Maddie, that your hands felt a little tingly, like on pins and needles, a little numb. When the light disappeared.
I like that. Yeah, but he will stick his hand in the squirrel cage and show Ezekiel that the squirrel eats light. And then I will take my hand out and shake the pins and needles.
Whoa, it's so cute! Does it have a name yet? He'll look at Mara.
No, it's not important enough.
Can I name it?
Sure, kid, whatever you want.
You're gonna be Sparky.
Sparky?
Yeah, Sparky. You're gonna be Sparky.
It's a very good name.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Bye, Sparky. I'll see you later.
I'm gonna pull Mara aside before she goes back to sleep. Get rid of that thing before I make it disappear.
What does Mara say to that?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Get rid of that thing before I make it disappear.
I mean, sure, I don't really care. I already wrote everything I needed to write.
Good. I'm gonna follow Maddie and Ezekiel out.
I put Ezekiel on my shoulders and I go find Uran and the sister, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna go and...
I will go with you. You are not exactly the most discreet.
What are you talking about? Ain't nothing wrong with a walking flashlight and their kid and an old lady walking down the street.
But three of those are fine.
Yeah, I get it. I shine bright.
You'll never hear the end of it, darling.
I kind of like how I glow, right, Ezekiel? It's cool.
Yeah.
None of you glow. That means you're not that special.
I can make myself glow.
But I don't glow.
Ezekiel,
I can make you
you're
glow too,
plenty
honey.
special.
Well, you said if you don't glow, you're not special.
I was joking with them.
Okay.
Maddie, is this how you raise your child? Make him feel subsequent about himself.
Ezekiel knows he's awesome, right, dude?
Well, you just said your child wasn't special because he doesn't glow. What sort of standards are you setting?
Higher ones than eating candy for breakfast.
Hey, it was later in the day, but at least I sleep. I set a good example for him. Meanwhile, y'all were out chasing squirrels in the dead of night.
Cannot go to sleep. We saw.
You can at least pretend. You can at least pretend.
I would have to lay there for like 9 hours and do nothing.
You can just sleep from right before. Just
lay there and do nothing for 4 hours. Just lay awake, looking at the ceiling.
I mean, that's what you do during the day, don't you?
Yeah. We're gonna go explore now.
Things got really tense there. And then Cade's bounds down the steps. Oh, are we leaving this court? Let's go. I'm going with you wherever you're going. Anywhere but here. Let's go right now.
Not a big fan of the court, are you?
No. Very civilians aren't, love.
Why's that?
I mean, we don't believe in it.
No, fair.
Human story. Not us. Or ours. Anyway.
There are like a lot of parallels from what I read. You know.
Not as many as the books would have you believe, I'm sure. Although I'm not going to say a word further on it.
Okay, let's go.
And Cades will turn into a smaller butterfly and land on Urin's shoulder as you guys are walking through town.
Maddie lags behind.
Ezekiel, it's so pretty.
Yeah, pretty.
And it'll go and land on Ezekiel's outstretched finger. Yeah, I am. I'm very pretty. Thank you very much. You can still talk as a butterfly? Yes, I can.
Cool. Talking butterfly now. That's totally comfortable.
Look at it! It'll hold it right in front of you.
You alright, Maddie?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
He's so cool.
It's scared of a...
If you're about to mock my phobia, I once again will do nothing because my son is standing right here.
The butterfly's so cool! Miss Allie, look at it!
Oh, it's so pretty. Ain't it pretty?
Again, I'll repeat, I am gorgeous.
Yes.
You're very pretty.
You're a very gorgeous little butterfly.
Mm-hmm. Could you do the person thing again? Because that's really cool, the transformation from butterfly to person.
I
is
personally
super
like
awesome.
the butterfly.
We're trying to be discreet.
Why do we need to do that if I'm already glowing?
You don't need to draw more eyes.
Maddie's doing his very best to not look at the butterfly.
Ezekiel looks very happy with the fact that Cades is like settled on his shoulder now that he realizes, oh, this kid is doing nothing but praising me. I'm gonna sit on him. That seems good.
Maddie, honey, just pretend he's a moth.
Yep, that totally helps.
Imagine he's a elaborate beetle. Does that work?
Beetles are actually better, but that's a butterfly.
Maybe in this world, that's a beetle.
Pretty sure that's a butterfly.
Nope, it's a beetle, definitely.
Sure, it's a beetle. Maddie takes Ezekiel's hand, but does not look at the butterfly.
Well, I tried.
And every time Cades moves, Maddie flinches, and then takes Ezekiel's hand.
It laughs every time you do that, manically.
Or does like a little dance just to see your reaction.
Maddie, honey.
Yeah, when you take
you
Ezekiel's
talking
hand, he
about
does
a
like crawl on you a bit before going back to Ezekiel.
Oh! No.
Oh
No.
man, you're too easy.
No.
What did butterflies ever do to you, Maddie? They're gorgeous little creatures.
Damn right I am.
I had this horrible second grade science teacher. She was so mean. And we watched a nature documentary about butterflies, before we went to a butterfly garden.
Fun fact, butterflies can drink blood.
Yeah. So we found out that butterflies not only will they drink your blood if they get to it, like if you're like, hey, butterfly, here's blood, they will drink it. It's weird. It's gross. And they eat dead things sometimes. And that bothered the heck out of me. And then we went to a butterfly garden. Maddie stops and starts dry heaving a little bit about like how he's talking about it. And because of course, the universe is cruel, I got swarmed by a bunch of butterflies. And I thought they wanted to drink my blood. And one landed in my mouth. And I accidentally ate a butterfly. And that's why butterflies are a no-go. They have been a no-go since.
Alright, I will admit that is fair.
No-go.
But by that logic, you must also be afraid of anything with teeth and a throat.
No.
Because, honestly, humans can drink blood, cows can drink blood, a very determined duck can drink blood.
I'm confident in punching humans, punching cows, and even punching the very determined duck. I am not confident I could punch enough butterflies to make a dent in a swarm. And butterflies.
How about a fish? Can you punch a fish?
I probably could punch a fish.
What about a bunch of tiny fish?
Like tadpoles. Can you punch a tadpole?
I could probably swat at, I don't think the tadpole would be interested in flying in or swimming into my mouth.
You never know. They ain't got brains, you know?
Tadpoles have a brain. Butterflies also have a brain. But butterflies fly, and they're weird, and they have gross psychedelic patterns. Ezekiel thinks they're cool. They're pretty, so Ezekiel can think that. I don't like them.
Alright, I'll let it be.
Butterflies are gross.
Butterflies are great. Thank you very much.
Do not talk to me in butterfly form.
I'm going to talk to you all day now. Now that you've said that, that's the only thing I'm going to do.
And thus we draw much more attention to ourselves.
With a hot pink talking butterfly and a glowing person that refuses to look
I'm
at it.
very clearly a familiar.
Not sure about Maddie, though.
Durin has magic. I can pass off as his for now.
Maddie is ignoring.
Kate, I know you can take other forms. It's not one that will purposefully antagonize one of the group. Why don't you do that? You're not actually my keeper knight. So, nah.
Well, like, if you go into beetle form, that would be so much better.
I'll give you another sucker if you do.
Well, I do like that candy. 2 suckers.
Alright, deal.
Okay. He turns into a furry moth.
That's not better!
You told me to turn into something different.
Different type of butterfly.
Maddie grumbles and takes Ezekiel's hand and just starts walking.
Wait, I just thought of something. If I was to create like a butterfly out of light, would that just be like a model of it? Would it be like an actual like moving butterfly?
I guess you'd have to try and find out, huh?
Huh. And wait a second, I need to do something.
Okay.
Adelaide sticks to her.
So what are you guys looking for as you explore the town?
We don't have any money to spend. And I doubt there's gonna
Just
be a
sightseeing.
playground.
I guess we're just sightseeing.
Yeah, just looking.
People going about their day, going to work. There's a great big building in the center of town made of wood, and it is the Carpenters Guild. It's on one of the signs out front, and most people go to work there.
I'm gonna stop someone who looks a little more official looking.
You stop an older woman. She.
Would it be like rude if we just wanted to go in and look around?
It's the guild. You cannot go in unless you have a membership, I'm afraid, traveler.
Bummer.
Or unless you have business with the guild leader.
No, I don't think we do. Do we want to meet them though? Is that like our thing? Are we supposed to be like? I'm gonna turn to Adelaide. Are we supposed to be like meeting people who are like prominent?
Yes.
So we should ask.
We
to
probably
meet them?
should. Throw around our title a little bit.
Okay, so we're Kingmakers, and we would love to meet the guild leader.
Well, how do you do? My name's Christabel Brewis.
Nice to meet you, Christabel, and I will hold up my hand for a handshake.
She will shake it firmly back. Clearly, it's much more of a commoner gesture to also shake hands than curtsy and bow. Kingmakers, huh? That's that prophecy thing, right?
Yep.
Apparently.
Well, one of you certainly looks the part. The rest, I wouldn't be able to tell you apart from any old traveler.
That's the point.
Ah, traveling incognito then. Probably smart.
And he just looks utterly defeated and is like, why? I'm gonna ruin everything for this group.
You're just curious, looking around. Look around town then. We're on our way to the capital, Ashbourne. I'm taking it there. Yes, you are a shadow hunter, yes? It's on your uniform. And he nods. Well, still, I'm not going to bend my own rules. If you don't have official business, the Carpenters Guild is private.
That's totally fine. Oh.
Besides, no offense, you would be a bit distracting to my workers.
We can cover him up.
I feel like that would be more rude than just saying no, so...
I pulled the toga over my head like a...
A hooded stranger versus a glowing stranger is not much better.
Yeah.
But thank you anyway.
Alright.
So you
Well?
are the head of the Carpenter Guild?
Yes.
Then would you like to come have tea or lunch with us, or?
Well, I have work to get done today, so I best off be doing that.
How about dinner?
Looks up like she's thinking, trying to like remember her schedule. I don't see why not. Where are you guys staying?
The court place?
Oh, Court Cathedral then.
That.
Oh well, Sister Sien's lovely. I'll meet you there then. Supper.
Wonderful.
Nice doing business.
A pleasure meeting you. And she walks on.
That is a real boss. She wasn't willing to bend the rules, even with our fancy title. She didn't be all pompous and be like, well, I am the guild master. and she was like, you know what? Yeah, I gotta get to work, but dinner sounds good.
She was giving me some Yoda vibes.
She was giving you Yoda vibes?
Yeah.
You've watched Star Wars? I don't know.
Hey, I might be old, but I like my sci-fi.
I don't know why I'm so like.
It probably came out before you were even born.
But you guys wrap up exploring for the day and head back to the court to prepare for a dinner with Guildmaster Christabel Brewis. And with that we leave our adventuring party once more. Shifting focus to the impatient form of Mary Kate. Her eyes are narrowed and irritated, although her hands are half raised in a position universally recognized to mean surrender, as the sharp point of steel stretched out toward her neck. She thought the context was novel, although the situation was most certainly not. Bandits. Rough and tumble men down on their luck who wore loose-fitting leathers and furs as patchwork armor. They had ambushed them on their journey, and honestly, she felt a little bad for them. It was clear that the Empire was a cold place, both in temperature and in atmosphere. They'd barely been there more than a handful of days, and she could already see that while the people here clearly loved their home, tensions were mounting, and they were growing more dissatisfied with their way of living with every passing moment. To be frank, their leadership was blind to the frustration and poverty of the public. So honestly, it was a lot like home. Corrupt, blind, idiocy. That was slowly leading to a boiling point. Hence, bandits. And the bandit in front of her seemed to be getting particularly angry. Oh, had he been speaking? She hadn't noticed. Sorry, a little lost in thought. Could you repeat that? The man gritted his teeth. You want to die, you dumb cowards? Then give me your coin purse. Mary Kate couldn't help that she laughed. Her money would be useless to the fellow, and she'd bet he'd be more than a little confused receiving a wallet anyway. She leaned forward until the sword was millimeters from her and smiled at him, power increasing as she did. Her voice was practically dripping with it when she spoke. You don't want to hurt me. You're better than that. His eyes glazed over as the effect took hold. She glanced around him. Jasper had turned into a rhinoceros and was making quick work of his bandits, throwing them into a bed of spider silk he had set up as a trap. Anyone stupid enough to approach Autumn was tackled by Ryan before being thrown into the silk trap as well. Anyone who got past him was charmed by Autumn immediately, dropping their weapons and walking willingly into the pre-made trap. The trap had been her idea. They'd heard that bandits were plaguing the town, and the group wasn't exactly the most threatening, so they figured they'd be good bait. Except maybe for Layla, who had stayed back saying, My power's dangerous. If it gets out of control, there will be far more blood than we want. Turning back to the bandit as his grip on his weapon momentarily relaxed, she struck, ripping the sword from his hand, power kicking in. Knowing how to hold the weapon, balance it, becoming stronger to bear its weight, she knocked him out with the pummel of the blade and joined the fight. Even if the situation was strange, so full of mystery it made her want to sing, she held strong, bared her weapon, and charged. No one would ever see her show an ounce of doubt. If they had to bear this burden, then she wouldn't hesitate. She never had before, and she certainly wouldn't start now. And with that, Kingmakers Episode 4, Prime, comes to a close. I've been your Master of Ceremonies, Ashley, and we will see you all next time.